notice that.
I discard my suits after one day.
I'm starting to notice that.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're in the big time.
Yeah, I
I
see
think it
that.
was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Mixing it up, mixing it up.
I guess I need to get some of that wardrobe money in my budget.
You got some competition, Shannon.
I see. Look at it.
Watch
Look
out.
at
Every single day, you just never know with you.
Ernestine picked it out. You didn't do it.
No, Autumn did.
No, Ernestine, like, Skip, I think you look great at that. Because you'd come out here in black every day if it was left up to you.
That is true.
That's true. I'm trying to do that today. We've got a lot to get to on today's show. Is LeBron trying to put an end to the Lakers drama? Because, boy, we have had a lot. And did Ezekiel Elliott cost himself a big contract? We'll talk about him soon, but we are going to start with the Warriors. They made history last night, becoming the first team since the 1960 Celtics to make 5 straight NBA Finals. The Blazers raced out to a fast start for the 3rd straight game and led by 17 late in the 3rd quarter. But once again, they could not close it out. Steph Curry, Draymond Green each had triple-doubles to lead the comeback, with Steph finding Draymond for a dagger 3 in the final minute of overtime. Damian Lillard had his best game in weeks, but missed the potential game winner at the buzzer. The Warriors have now won 5 straight games since Kevin Durant went down. Shannon, will the Warriors be able to blend KD back in with this team in the finals?
Sure, they can. They blended him in when he arrived, Skip. Remember, they had played 2 years before KD got there. Went 73-9. Steph was a 2-time league MVP, and they blended him in. His first year there, I think they went 68-14, 67-8, something like that. They won like 68 games. They're a little off the 73 win total. So sure, they can. They're different with KD. They're not
extremely different.
Right. They're just not better. I just believe, and Draymond kind of echoed what I've been saying. Yes, they're a great team. Yes, they believe they can win without KD. KD virtually makes them unbeatable because they got a guy when the rubber meets the road, need to meet the road. He can go get you 35 in the ISO situation. Sometimes that works to their disadvantage because even though they got down, Skip, this was, I think, their 3rd straight game, they got down by at least 17. The ball kept moving. The cut step kept happening. And the next thing you know, they find themselves right back into the game. And late in the ball game, their execution is flawless. The other team flounders. They find themselves winning the game and off to the NBA Finals they go. So can they? Yes. But, Skip, I think a part of them deep down, they don't want KD to come back.
I agree.
They want to show that they're a much more than a Kevin Durant team. Because they want to, because you see Steph, now Kevin Durant was playing great before he got hurt. I don't know if he's playing any better than what Steph Curry played the last 5.5 games.
Obviously, he's a better player. He's just a bigger man, harder to stop. But I don't know that he's ever played any better than Steph has over this stretch.
No, Skip. 37, a triple-double. Steph Curry had 13 rebounds last night. There's no way. Portland ought to be ashamed of themselves.
It was a tour de force.
It was. I think they want to show. Draymond echoed it. Draymond told the man to his face, we won before you got here.
Told him that.
We'll win after you
in
leave.
December. Well,
I ain't talking about boss either. So I think a part of them, Skip, they're saying all the right things. They're putting the best foot forward. Yeah, we need KD. We'd love to have KD back. For that matter, we'd love to have Boogie back. But I think a part of them deep down, they really want to do this thing without them. Without KD especially. Because over the last 2 years, if y'all didn't have KD, y'all would have lost. If y'all didn't have KD, this would have happened. They said, okay, we don't have KD now. And we swept to the Western Conference Finals.
So I would like to make one point of order before I answer Jenny's question.
Yes.
The point of order being that as I watched on ESPN last night, the post-game celebration, Western Conference champs, Doris Burke presiding in the locker room, or at least in a part of the locker room. Yeah. I'm looking around and I'm thinking, wait a second, there's no that guy. There's no number 35. There's no Kevin Durant. But I did see DeMarcus Cousins. He's over on the left side. And reportedly, I keep reading stories that say he's become the biggest bench cheerleader of all the players on the bench because he is pro-Warriors. He loves it there. He's having the time of his life there. And unfortunately, he suffered a shocking freakish injury, tore his quad, but he says he's on the mend and almost ready to return. So this team now has 9 days to get ready for game 1 of the finals, probably against Milwaukee, but we don't know that for sure. But the point is, DeMarcus is saying, I'm going to be ready for the finals. Well, he's ready to be part of this team because he was there last night. Where was Kevin Durant? Seriously.
I don't know if he travels, Skip. Maybe it's a situation they don't want inflammation. They don't want it to swell. Whatever.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it that? Is it more serious than we think? Is it a torn calf?
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible that he's actually not going to be back at all, that this is a moot point, that we're just bumping our gums right now because maybe they're just not announcing the fact that he has a calf tear and he is history?
Because Steve Kerr said, Skip, it's more serious than we thought.
He did say that.
Now, he uttered that. He didn't have to give that information up, but he volunteered it.
Okay, now I want to make a second point. I want to remind everyone that the team you saw last night is, well, it's not the same team, but they still wear the same uniforms of a team that lost 6 times during the regular season at home by 20-plus points. That same team you just saw bounce back and back and back against Portland is about as resilient as I've ever seen a basketball team, what they just pulled off in 3 straight games. That same team blew a 31-point lead at home to the Clippers in the first round. A 31-point lead, except wait a second, it's not the same team because that team that blew the 31-point lead had Kevin Durant on it. That team was in trouble against Houston because it was 2 games to 2 games. Game 5 at Golden State, and what was happening right on schedule at Oracle, where they've not been very good this year. Here came Houston out of halftime. They were down 14. They go on a 22-9 run. They cut it to 1 point. Kevin Durant says, you guys get out of the way. Give me the basketball. I'll go 1-on-2 over here, and I'll rise up, and I'll make that baseline jumper, and I'll turn to come up court, and I'll push off, and I'll say, whoops, what happened? We thought Achilles happened. Maybe he tore his calf. I don't know what happened, but he is now out, and he's out of sight. And they were a troubled basketball team at that moment. To me, I don't think they would have overcome the Houston Rockets. I think they were on their way to losing because remember, a year ago with Kevin Durant, what happened? They were in big trouble against those same Rockets until Chris Paul went down in game, what was it, 4 at the end? Or was it the end of game 5?
Game 5.
Game 5 at the end. You're right. Because then they
won 2 straight games. The Warriors
went up in smoke. So what did we just see this team pull off without Kevin Durant? These 2 teams were tied going to the 4th quarter of game 2 at Oracle. The Portland at home was only down 3 going to the 4th quarter on what night was it? Saturday night. And then last night, Portland was up 8 going to the 4th quarter, again, at home. So the last 2 games are at home. They have led in these 3 straight games. Portland's led 17, 18, and 17 last night. And somehow the Warriors, without Kevin Durant, without DeMarcus Cousins, and last night without Iguodala, roared back and won all 3 games. That is phenomenal. That is something I don't think I've ever witnessed anything quite like this kind of resilience. 3 straight playoff games in the Western Finals.
I haven't either, Skip. And to echo what you said, I think a lot of times when you fall behind like that and you have an ISO player, you tend to lean on him.
It's just hard.
So now
he's going to be making a lot of 2s and it's going to be slow.
And he's eating into the clock.
He is.
Because he got to dribble back down, dribble, pass out, get the ball back. Now,
you think Draymond's going to be taking it off the boards and just whipping it up?
Well, remember, Draymond that's what got him into trouble to begin with. That's what started it. Because Draymond took it off the board, and KD was clapping his hands, and Draymond like, bro, I got this.
Yeah. And by the way, Draymond's been destroying the Trailblazers by just dribbling it all the way up the floor and forcing the issue on the other end.
Draymond like, bro.
That's a good point. That's what was the flashpoint that started all this.
He's like, you looking at me like I'm Kevon Looney.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I can handle this. Skip, but the difference is that if you look at Portland, their inability to close half and close quarters cost them.
It did.
Skip, they're up, with 30 seconds. They're up 12. After Leonard Myers, who had an unbelievable game. Myers Leonard, excuse me.
You know what? He is Leonard Myers. I'll give you that.
Myers Leonard, Skip. He can't play any better than what he played last night. 30 and 12 is what he gave him. You
realize he's averaged starting 6 games a year over 7 seasons. Go ahead.
He scored 30 and 12, so he
had 25 in the first half, and they were only up 4 at halftime.
He hits the 3 that puts them up 12.
Okay.
Steph comes back and hits a 3.
Yeah.
So now they're down 9.
Yeah.
Okay, Dame turns it over. He's in front of Steph. Somehow he slows down. Steph passes him. They give him, clear path. He makes 2 free throws, and then he hits a 3. So what was 12 with 30 seconds, you go into half, and you're only up 4.
Yep.
That's very deflating.
That was the game right there.
And then in the third quarter, they couldn't close that. Nope. And then in the fourth again,
Here we go
they have that lull.
Yep.
Skip, the thing is that, yes, they can bring KD back. I'm not so sure if the team, they're going to say the right things. Steve Kerr might say, well, KD, you're not, really not 100% healthy.
He might tell him that.
And then KD might be a situation, they know KD is leaving. KD know he's leaving.
Yep.
Maybe that's why he's not around, Skip. Maybe it's starting to get uncomfortable with everybody.
It just might be.
But what Steph did and what Draymond did, this is the first time we had 2 guys with triple-doubles in the finals.
Have you ever seen either Steph or Draymond play better than they played over the last 3 games? No. I have not.
And if Skip, on a different subject, they might need to think about breaking Portland up. They've hit the ceiling.